Good morning. Today we are going to continue with the exercise 13A. The topic is distance formula, and this is the third video for this exercise. This is the last video of exercise 13A, right? We will continue with the application of distance formula. Clear? So, today's first question will be question number 11. Look at the board. Question number 11. What it says, a point moves so that the difference of the square of its distance from the x-axis and y-axis is constant. Find the equation of its locus. So, as you see in the question, right, we are given a point which is at equal distance from x-axis and y-axis. So, let us draw the coordinate first of all. This is x-axis. This is y-axis. This is x-axis and this is y-axis. This is x-axis and this is y-axis. Clear? Now there is a point which is at equal distance from x-axis and y-axis. So suppose that point is this. This is the location of the point which is at equal distance from y-axis and from x-axis. Is it okay? Let us name this point as P. Is it okay? Now the coordinate of this I will mark as HK. We can assume the coordinate of P as anything. I have assumed the coordinate of P as HK. What does it mean? Now if I drop a perpendicular from P on x-axis, is it okay? Then this is the point where it meets the x-axis. That means this is the value of your x for this point. So the value of x is h, right, according to the coordinate, right? This distance will be h, and because it is on x-axis, therefore the y-coordinate will be 0, and therefore we are able to get the coordinate of this point. Isn't it? Very simple. And likewise, we can also drop a perpendicular from this point on y-axis. Is it okay? Please remember that this is y-axis. On y-axis, x is always 0. On x-axis, y is always 0. Therefore, according to this, the coordinate of this point will become 0 and k. Is it very clear? Now we can start solving this question. Is it okay? Now we will start solving this question. So what we can do is, we can see here that the distance of P from x-axis is how much? The distance of P from x-axis. Now first of all, let me tell you that this distance on the x-axis is h. On the x-axis, this distance is h, and on the y-axis, this distance is k. Clear? Now, if I say, what is the distance of P from x-axis? What is the distance of P from x-axis? Then you will say, sir, this P is at a distance of k from x-axis. So we can say here, P is at a distance of k unit from x-axis. Hope it is clear. And from y-axis, this point from y-axis, it is at a distance of h unit. Am I clear? And h unit okay, this point is at a distance of h unit from y-axis, and h distance from y-axis. Am I very clear? Once again, I repeat this question. We are asked that there is a point P which is at equal distance from x-axis and y-axis. So we have marked a point P which is at equal distance from x-axis and from y-axis. Is it okay? So that point we marked, and then we have just tried to describe that what is the situation. So P is at a distance of k unit from x-axis. From x-axis, it is at a distance of k unit. From x-axis, it is at a distance of k unit, and from y-axis it is at a distance of H unit. Clear? Now, according to question, what the question says is, the question says that the difference of the square of its distance from x-axis and y-axis. Square of its distance from x-axis. So from x-axis it is at the distance of k, and from y-axis it is at the distance of h. Therefore, according to the question, the square of the difference of these two is a constant quantity. That means k square minus h square. The difference of the point from x-axis, square of the distance from the x-axis and square of the distance from y-axis. The difference of these two is equal to constant. So this is, suppose constant is any quantity, any number c. Clear? That's all. Your work is done. Now what is x? What is k? K is your y coordinate. So replace this with its value, y square. And what is h? Is your x value. So x square is equal to c. And this becomes the locus of your point P. This question is very simple. Thank you. You can pause the video and then copy this question. I will request Madam Karma to please pause the video for a minute, and then students can copy this, and then we will move to the next question. Thank you. Okay, now we are moving on to question number 12. Look at the board and see what is the question. Question number 12 is, find the equation of the locus of a point whose distance from z-axis is equal to its distance from xy plane. So find the locus of that point. So now, according to the question, what it says, that there is a point which is at equal distance from z-axis and xy plane, right? So let me show you. Suppose this is xy plane. This is xy plane. Is this very clear? And this is z-axis. This is z-axis. Very similar to the previous question, z-axis. Is it okay? Now, this is your z-axis. This is z-axis. This is z-axis. So, now the question says that there is a point which is at equal distance from the xy plane and then from z-axis. So, let us mark that point B somewhere here. Assuming, just estimating that this is at equal distance, that this distance and this distance are same. And name this point. You have to now find out the locus of this point. So we can assume the coordinate of this point as x, y, and z. Is it okay? Now what we can do is we can similarly drop a perpendicular onto xy plane. Is it okay? So that we are able to get the point and we can write down the coordinate of this point, because we have to write down the locus. Therefore, we need to have the coordinate of this point, and likewise we will drop the perpendicular on z-axis also. And we will try to also have the coordinate of this point. Once we have the coordinate of this point and this point, then writing the coordinate for P will become easy. Now see how can we have the coordinate of this point and then this point. Clear? In the previous video, I told you xy plane means z coordinate will be 0. Xy plane means z coordinate will be 0. Clear? So therefore the coordinate of this point will become x will have some value, y will have some value, but because it is xy plane, so z will have 0 value. Is it okay? So these are the techniques that you have to keep in mind. Suppose, I'm telling you, suppose if this was xz plane, that means y will be 0. If this was yz, then x coordinate will be 0. Means whichever is missing here, that part will become 0. Right? Now, look here. Here, this is z axis. So, which two axes are missing? X and y. Right? X and y. Therefore, the value of x and y at this point will become 0. So the coordinate of this point will become 0, x 0, y 0, and z will be z. This is how we will get the coordinate of the point. Is it very, very clear? After this, now we are going to write the equation. Is it okay? Now, according to the question, what is told is that this P is at an equal distance from z-axis and then xy plane, right? Let us name this point as A and this is as B, isn't it? Then I can say that PA is equal to PB according to question, because the question says that P is at equal distance from z-axis and from xy plane. Therefore, this PA will be equal to PB. So we can write here PA is equal to PB, right? And once we have these two, we can square it because this distance formula we want to express in square form. So we are squaring both the sides. It becomes PA square is equal to PB square. Am I clear? Now let us put the value of PA square. PA square. So this will be x minus 0 square plus y minus 0 square, and then this is z minus z square. This is value of your PA square. Now right hand side PB square. So x minus x whole square plus y minus y whole square and plus z minus 0 whole square. Is it okay? So finally this will become x minus 0 means only x, and x square is as it is x square. This will become y square. This will become 0 square. Right hand side. This will become 0 square. This will become 0 square. And this will become z square. Clear? Now just bring it all in left hand side. Very simple. X square plus y square minus z square. This is equal to 0. And this become your equation in the reduced form. And this is the locus of the point P, which is at equal distance from z-axis and xy plane. Hope you're understanding this question. So once again, you can pause the video. Again requesting Madam Karma. I'm always thankful to Madam Karma to support and then help all of us. So after every question, I will request Madam Karma to pause the video for a minute, and then students can copy the question in their classroom notebook. Clear? So this is, and then next, and then later on, you have to practice this question by yourself. Okay? Thank you. All right. Now we will move on to question number 13, and this is the last question for the day of this exercise also. Question number 13. Look at the board. Question says calculate the cosine of the angle A. Calculate the cosine of the angle A of the triangle with the vertices A, B, and C, so and so and so. So here we have to find out the cosine of angle A. Clear? So to do that, first of all, let me draw the triangle. Then I will explain you the question. This is the triangle. This is any triangle. The coordinate of this triangle is, according to the question, is given as A, B, and C. Okay. Now let me write down the coordinate of A. The coordinate of A is 1, minus 1, and 2. Then coordinate of B is 6, 11, and 2. This is the coordinate of B. And then the coordinate of C, 1, 2, and 6. So these are the coordinates of, this is the triangle. Now I am going to explain you. Okay. Now, because the question is to find the cosine of angle A, so we need to have the formula for the cosine of angle A, right? From the angle we will try to answer the question. So cosine of A means cos of A is B square plus C square minus A square divided by 2BC. This is called as cosine of angle A. Please remember, this is very important, right? You have studied this in trigonometry in class 11. Is it okay? Cosine of angle A. Is it okay? Now we have to find the value of this part. We are asked to find the value of cosine of A. Is it okay? So what we need to understand is this is a small b square, this is small c square, this is minus a small a square, and then all these are small letter. Okay, clear? So where we have these values, from where we get the value of this b, this c, this a, right? What if we get the value of all this, then we will be able to easily calculate the cosine of angle A. Hope I am able to make it clear, boys and girls. So I am going to teach you how do you get the value of B, C, and then A. Is it okay? Let us come to the triangle. This is vertex A. This is vertex A. Please listen to me very carefully. This is vertex A, and the side which is opposite to this vertex will be the small a. Right? The name of that side, the name of the side opposite to this angle will be small a. So the name of this side will be corresponding to the name of the vertex. This is in capital letter, so the side opposite to this angle will be the name of the side in small letter. Is it very clear? Now this is B. This is B, and then this side will be then accordingly C. Is it okay? Now see the difficulty. This question is very interesting. In order to find the cosine of angle A, we need to have the measurement of A, then B, then C. And after calculating all the three lengths, then we will put it in the formula and we can find out the cosine of angle A. So now we are going to find the value of A, B, and C using the distance formula. Is it alright? So now start. First of all, we are going to start with A. A. For finding A, you will use this coordinate and then this coordinate. Let us start. Right? So it will be 6 minus 1 whole square, 6 minus 1 whole square plus 11 minus 2, 11 minus 2 whole square, then 2 minus 6 whole square, 2 minus 6 whole square, and then the square root of all this. Square root of all this. Is it okay? Now equal to 6 minus 1 is 5, and 5 square is 25, plus 11 minus 2, 9. 9 square is 81, plus 2 minus 6, minus 4. Minus 4 square is 16. Right? It will become positive. So then we can add it all. And the sum of this one is 6, 1, 7, 5, 12. 2 carry 1. 1, 2, 2, 8, 10, and 2, 12. So this is 122. This became the length of your side BC in terms of small letter A. So I can write this as a unit. Is it okay? Now likewise we will calculate the value of B. B will be equal to, now for calculating B we will use these two coordinates, isn't it? So let us start. 1 minus 1 square, then 2 minus minus 1 plus 2 minus minus 1 square, and then plus 6 minus 2 square is equal to, now this is 0, this is 2 minus minus plus, so this is 2 plus 1, 3, and 3 square means 9, plus 6 minus 2, 4, 4 square means 16 is equal to root over 25. That means equal to 5 unit. Now likewise we will calculate the length of C. So C, we will now use these two coordinates. So this is 6 minus 1 whole square plus 11 minus minus 1 whole square and plus 2 minus 2 whole square. Square root of this is equal to 6 minus 1, 5. 5 square means 25 plus minus minus plus. So this will become 11 plus 1, 12, and 12 square means 144 plus, now 2 minus 2, 0. So this is 0. And finally this is coming root over 169, and this is equal to 13 unit. So we calculated the value of A, B, and C, all the things now. Now we are going to put it in the formula and we are going to get the final answer. So let us calculate. So this is cos of A is equal to, now your B is calculated how much? 5, and we need to have the square of that 5. So 5 square plus C square. C is 13. So we will have 13 square minus A. Your A is root 122. Root 122. And then we need to have the square. So square it. Divided by 2 BC. BC is how much? 5 into 13. 5 into 30. Is it okay? So this becomes now 5 square means 25. Right? Then 13 square means 169. Right? And this will become minus 122. Is because the square and square root sign will cancel. So this number will remain as it is only. Now this is 5 to the 10 and 13. 130. Right? Now let us calculate this. 25 and 169. So 9, these two are positive. First of all, we'll add these two. Okay? Or you can use the calculator and directly also you can write the value. Is this very clear? Anyway, let us add these two. So this will be 194 minus 122 divided by 130. Is it okay? So this becomes then 72 over 130. Right? Now simplify. These 236 are 72, 265 are 130. So this becomes 36 over 65. It cannot be simplified anymore. This cannot be reduced anymore. So now final answer. To find the cosine, you have to send this cos to the other side. So A will be equal to cos inverse 36 over 65, and this becomes your cosine of angle A. So this is your final answer. Is this very clear? So once again, you can pause the video and copy this question and understand it well. Is it alright? So thank you so much for watching the video. Thank you, Madam Karma, for supporting me. And then students, please do not ignore. This is your class 12, very, very important class, right? You cannot afford to relax. Make use of each and every minute, every time, and then sit in the group and then practice so that you can help each other. All right. Thank you and take care.